Hello everybody, so we're down here in the workshop, the carpentry workshop. I haven't been there for a while, it's great. So on the board behind you can see the DIY confidence course written out over 4 weeks. But actually today we've got in two guys from Spear, Bournemouth. So Spear, we're in a partnership with Spear, and they're the guys who do employability work with young people, helping them get into jobs. This partnership is all about how we can cross-fertilise, doing practical stuff that we're doing, the barista courses, the carpentry courses, and get some of the people, that young people we're picking up, getting onto their employability courses. It's a really nice partnership. Anyway, one of the young people today came down and showed Dale and I, who were here, he took out these two pieces of wood and said, yesterday I did this mitre joint. I don't know what a mitre joint is, but it looks like joining two corner pieces together. He's so proud of what he did. He said, I did it right first time. Leo was really pleased with me. So it just shows what the benefit of this work is all about. It's just not just about getting people into jobs, into training. It's rebuilding confidence in young people, which is fantastic. By the by, the office over there is extraordinary. It's beautiful. They mapped that out. And out the back, they've created a store outside where Prince William signed the book 3 years ago. Well, they've created this beautiful store to house some of the goods that they made and some of the goods that they're making. So they're really making use of the space in a good way. So it's just a real thank you to all of you involved in the workshop, to Roger and Georgia and Rob and Leo. It's a place of real energy and actually fun. They're having a big laugh in there right now. So safety and fun, which is quite a good mix. Thanks a lot. Hi, everybody. Just had my discovery visit this week. That's that chance to go to another project in the FaithWorks sort of ecosystem and find out what they do. Well, Lana invited me to do a shift in the food bank, which was very brave of her. And within reason, I'm really happy to do this with other projects as well. So if you want me to see how impossibly difficult actually your work is, then invite me along. Anyway, they let me have a high-vis jacket, and they let me out with Sean on the van, which was great because he's a volunteer who's had homelessness experience himself, has really been changed by his experience of working with the food bank, really helped him to get into a totally different place. Going to the warehouse, picked up stuff from the warehouse. They even trusted me to make up some packs. It's harder than you think, folks. It really is. Do you pick skimmed milk, semi-skimmed milk, or full fat milk? Anyway, hopefully they won't discover too many of my mistakes too quickly. But it was good to listen to another guy there who's been through a homelessness journey, getting out the other side of it because of the support of the food bank there. And also seeing him talk about all the other aspects of his life. It's not just about getting housed, but getting all the other parts of life sorted out. Maybe think of two things. One is, you'll have seen the announcement about the government wanting to see all rough sleepers come in by Christmas, I think the phrase is. It's a really big task, folks. I'm sure you'll all agree. We've seen this week brilliantly some people from Half Time getting housed, one person getting housed. Two, or at least two people in Christchurch getting housed after some really grim circumstances. Which so it is. We really celebrate the fact that if we're trying to get an end to anybody having to see, as David would call it, the street as a waiting room before getting housed. But our work continues, which is not just to put housing around people, but to give them life, and life in all its fullness. So supporting them to be resilient off the street once they get there. So lots of work still to be done. It's going to be tough for local government to put that in place, but we'll do what we can to support that. But it also made me think, meeting all these people, about our culture. We talked about we want to see a flourishing culture across FaithWorks. And one aspect that we've talked about, our Christian foundations, our vision and values. We've talked about how we work with guests, but it's also about how we work as a team and how we support and enable people to flourish within our team. So you've got the volunteers. If you haven't seen one of these, this is our volunteer handbook that everybody gets as a volunteer. Tom sends them out to everybody, and it sort of sets the almost the sort of agreement between this is what we'll do for you as FaithWorks, and this is what you'll do for us as volunteers. And so we want to be able to support our volunteers to flourish. We also want each other to flourish. And there's some lovely phrases that people have shared with me about what really helps them to flourish within the organisation. And part of it might be simply sending a little WhatsApp, even not to do with work particularly, but just to find out how somebody is. That encouragement, that sort of thing, really helps people to feel part of, supported. There's other stuff about self-care in there. You know, many of you have had challenging circumstances this week. The Smile guys, you know, we're doing 2 days at Brancy Island. Wow. So a bit of self-care needed after that. But it's also how we make decisions, how we talk together, when we spot stuff, we pick up the phone first. We don't just bang an email off. That's a culture which is about people. And so talking to each other, talking regularly to each other, those little calls are really helpful. And but the final thing in the culture document I've got in front of me talks about come and see. Actually, discovery visits are a really great way of building a flourishing culture. So if you haven't been on one, do book in. But thank you for all you're doing. Keep going. We're almost at the end of August. But I know some of you are on holiday. Enjoy that if you are. But rest and be refreshed, whatever you're doing. Take care.